Welcome back to Alchemy Factory. My name is Nilaus, and we are back here with another episode of, Alchemy Factory. What we're going to do today is we are going to continue where we left off. We left off by, look at that. There's a new research coming in from here, Crossway Tunnel, added in the latest patch. I'm sorry, it's still not available on Steam, but it will be hopefully soon enough. Now, what we want to work on is actually steamroll through level 7 and go straight for Blast Potion. The reason we do that is because of a couple of reasons. One is, the other things are not particularly valuable. The Venus, valuable and interesting, but it requires Blast Potion, so we need it anyway. Let me just start research on this. The second thing is Topaz, that's just money at this point, which, I mean, nice, but I don't know. Perfumed soap, it's also just money and nice, but doesn't really give us anything. The Fertile Catalyst is a huge amount of nutrient value, but again, it's not something we'd really want to build right now. So that just leaves this straight line down here, using the alembic to make brandy from the red currant and some coke, and then taking that together with some black powder, which we have, and then combine it with something new that's called an oblivion essence, which is what we get from this one. So that means we're going to make Blast Potion. The Blast Potion also has a ridiculous heat value, so that might come in handy. There we go. That was appropriate. So that means we need a new place where we can build stuff, because it's gonna be a sizable build. And I was first thinking about this area over here, but then I realized that the distance from here is way more than this, and this one is shootable, but this one is definitely not shootable. So I don't know what we're gonna do to get from here to here. There is no better cannons as far as I can tell. Then we'd have to sort of build across, and I don't even think we can do that because I think they won't allow it without supports. So I don't know. This one seems to be something that would have to be entirely separate, and that's weird, I think. So that's not a good idea. Then the other alternative, okay, that's also good. Actually, we want the brandy. Other alternative is buying this one up here, which costs some gold, 50 gold. We could buy it, but it's also a lot expensive. It would also ruin this build because all of this stuff is lined up against the back wall, and then we'd have to sort of figure out how to do that. So another good bad option. And then we have a third option, and that is, ta-da, up there. So that means we are going to build some walls around my factory. So it's actually going to be like a closed off place now, so we can get another floor. And that means we're going to be taking, see, this one doesn't work because it's right there. Flip, get a window, and get a window. And then let's see, it's 1, 2, 3. And then from here, I think it's also 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3, and then this one I will be making into a door, even though it's not exactly a great place for a door, but it's middle, so we'll keep it like that. Then I will go here again. Oops, that one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, then what? Then we have to figure out how we're going to do this on top, and I'll just kind of make a little bit of it, and then we'll go a little further. Then I want to actually, and this is just to make it not just a square block, but kind of lead it a little bit in here. Yeah, and then we're gonna do this at the top floor here, and this will have windows. And then it's always difficult to figure out. We wanted the wood panels on the inside. There. And that will be then where we make the surface here. It's all good. And then we start seeing issues when it reaches, see, that one it won't allow. So we're going to have to find a way to make supports. And I think I have been careful enough to actually allow this to make supports here by sort of not building on top of everything. So that means this could be a support, and this could be a support if with a little bit of this was before I really realized that I needed this, but you know, this can also be squeezed around. But it will allow us to... Oh, it wasn't actually that. It was lack of materials. Never mind. So maybe that wasn't actually a problem. But it is going to be a problem. I can guarantee that. We're definitely going to need more of this. And go to this area here. And then we continue on that. So that's going to be put everywhere. The troublesome part is going to be taking this one out and hoping that the whole thing doesn't come crashing down. I guess there's only one way to find out. No problem. Whew, lucky. Good. So let's build this all the way around so we get a nice new house and then check back in once the house is built. The new level is built and let's go up here. So first let's look down on the factory floor. It looks beautiful. I had to put lights in here on the pillars, which I think is great. It looks good. It's now we have a house within the house, which okay. Thank you for that disruption. Okay, well, that's good. We can just see how this works. Come on, where's the mass? 4. Nice. So we make about as much money as this. For some reason, this is running a lot faster. Then I've also said a little bit of this. Just wanted to see how these contracts work. This is just manually fed just to see how it works. And then money out. Let's have a look. So the Mike 3,300, I'd really want there to be like a revenue, an actual like earnings, expenses, and then the profit calculated here, just summarized as one thing. Because this is like too much work. This is a little more than 2 million. This is a little more than 3 million. So I make about 1 million a day. Copper coins, that is. So that's good. Then we go up here and we have now everything. Nice, huge plateau. What I want to build is like I have 1, 2, 3. And then the middle pillar, middle row, and then I have middle row, and then 1, 2, 3. So I can basically like have 3 builds that are 1 wide, and then 1 block wide, and 1 block wide, and up to 3 deep. They're usually like a little more than 2. So then I can have plenty of space to work up here. But we'll get. I also want to show something else. We did this one last time with bandage, sand and coal, which is easy because sand and coal are super easy to do. But there is actually one that's a lot cheaper that I've done, a Cauldron one. So let's try stamping this one in for now. It's going to be the same recipe, but it's we need to diversify as well. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's see. Overlapping without that. No overlap. Yes, overlap. No overlap. It's unfortunately going to overlap into so it has to be here. This is good, but then it's overlapping into the middle pillar. I don't want that. This one. Overlap. No overlap. Yeah, so it's that thing in the corner that's actually killing us here. So I'm going to have to put it into the next one instead. And then see if growth potions can be built out there in that corner instead. That looks much better. So that one is here. Wow, that went quick. That went quick how these filled up. So this is making mortars instead. And what we do not have is this part. So why am I doing this again? It's not going to work because I don't have these working just yet. And we don't have fuel either. So it's like we need to start a new level. And I don't have fuel and I don't have... I don't have any inputs, right? So it's going to be problematic, I guess. Okay, and then I also want to make the growth potion, which we have 2 versions of growth potion, which is silly, but I do. I wonder if this one can fit over in this corner. I think it actually can. So let's get the money in for this. And I also think I want to get a little bit of fertilizer on the belt to start with, and maybe even some fuel just to start with. Yeah, let's try to do that. But I want to have here blast powder and growth potion as the stuff that moves around on the belt. And let's build the growth potion as well. Let's see how that goes. Let's just keep pushing it in until it says overlapping. They are overlapping. They are not overlapping. Okay, let's see if it goes. Okay, don't fall down. That will be the fuel coming in eventually. Here we also have some missing belts. That one is a missing belt and that one is a missing belt. So we are getting a little bit of growth potions in here. We're not getting as many because my god is that a huge amount of growth potions that we need to get all the way over there. And This chamomile needs to be fed some potions to get going. Great. And then I'm also going to just force feed some potions in here. That one. And there, more potions in. Just feed it in here. And you can see I've also built like some coke powder because, yeah, we were needing something to get this going. This one though, will eventually get something. Is anything coming in? No, nothing is coming in because it's still waiting for more fuel in here. That's going to take a little bit of more effort. I'm going to take a little bit of this out. And just kind of get a little bit in here. Just make sure that we can actually feed it. Okay, this one has something. This one has something. Good. What about down here? You're also going to get a little bit of this. And the ones that are at the end of these lines, they're the ones that are most susceptible. So let's make sure that they are fed and then they're going to be happy. You are busy. And then basically what we want to do is I want to get this into the top one and you going into, yeah. Man, this is not easily accessible base here, but I'm sure we can get it done. Like right here in the corner, it's just that one-time thing. There we go. Into that corner pocket here where we will be throwing things from that medium belt, and I actually want to take you out now. No, that's the money. Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, no, stop. Crap. Well, that's gonna turn out poorly. Okay, so this is the money, and that has to come from down here because we're just kind of leading the money up. The money should not be a strain. That will go here, and then I will have a second one, a third one, fourth one, whatever. 1, 2, and then that can go in here. And that was going to be the one that gets this one. Luckily, I don't think I actually am producing this yet, so I think I am good. This is not great. There we go. This is working now. Good. And they should all be working faster. This is the brilliant part about this. This is made at 24 per minute. This is made at 120. And this one's made at 20. So as long as it's working faster than the 90 here, then we are going to get 90 out of this, which is good. But I'm not putting any storage. So I think we'll put a little bit of storage here. Actually, I might actually do it the other way around this time around, because this one is not for anything else. It's only for putting it out on the storage. And let's try not falling down. That's going to be on the top floor. There we go. So that means we are actually getting all of it out here. You just get the last bits. Oh, look at that. It's actually working now. So I think I want to, let's see. Are you working? Not really. Why not? It's the brine that's not working. Okay. Why is the brine not working? Oh, right. Because I don't have anywhere to put my... Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I don't have anywhere to put my excess sand. So we need to do that as well. So now this location is ready to go. We're bringing the silver from downstairs. We have disabled the fuel coming in from the growth potions coming in. So we are now only getting the growth potions from here, and we are getting the blast powder here. We have brought in a little bit of extra blast powder from the base build, and that's coming up here to a priority merger, so that we're using primarily blast powder or black powder. And there we go. So what we need to do now is let's get on with the stuff that I actually wanted to do. That is the blast potions. So we're going to be needing this build again. What we're going to do is let's start by figuring out how to do the blast. There we go. That is going to be made in a, doesn't say, oh, in an advanced blender, but we do have an advanced blender. Is there anything else I want to do now, research wise? No, not really. I could do that one, but I would have to get this one, and then we could go. Okay. So an advanced blender, you said, as a simpler advanced blender. Okay, let's go this one. And yeah, we don't have that recipe yet. Never mind. We need to make the brandy. That's an alembic. So let's figure out what an alembic is. Oh, it can only be built on a heating device. Okay, so that's there. I have no idea what an alembic is. There, we can make brandy. That means 2,400 fruit wine. Then we have to figure out what the fruit wine is. That means we need to, yay, finally. We need to find somewhere where we have red currant going. Wherever do we have that? We must have it down here. I think this is the transformation potion we use it for. There we go. This one. How fast are you? You are 200, 220 into 200. Oh, by the way, I want to show you something. There's a reset button. Yay, they added a reset button. So what I've done is I've actually put 10 points in here. So in the relic knowledge, so I get 100% extra relic bonus. That means we are actually getting quite a lot of bonus XP from any excess relics that will be, they won't be sold. Then they can go in here. And then I've built 4 levels of fuel. These two have to go 4, and then they'll eventually be 8. But then 4 levels of fuel, 4 levels of fertilizer. And then I'm kind of saying, yeah, sure, why not? Let's get some sales points here. And while we're down here, okay, so this one I wanted to say is 20 to 200, and this one, if it's getting some decent thing, it's going to be 120. So it's all good. And this one here is just kind of accumulating, and we could always just take... It's actually these ones that are... What time is it? It's the middle of the night, so we could take one of these. Oops. There. And the other one can go in here. So that should get 50 points times 5. So it's 250. That means we should be getting another XP, just XP point right now. Right. What do we want to do? I wanted to check the this part. And I also want to make some red currants. Let's buy some red currants as well. Let's buy 2 of those. 1, 2. Do I also want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. 1, 2. And 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. So that's what we want. I might as well just look at the quests. That's pretty simple. Let's also do this one while we're at it. We can just grab one of these. And then I know I didn't have to take it from there, but this one. And that is the quest done as well. Usually don't do the quest on camera because they're just basically running around. But now that we had the opportunity, let's just do that. Running. Yay, we got our skill points as expected. And that means we could just go in here. What are we going to get? Well, I think fertilizer or fuel efficiency. I think we'll do fertilizer. So we get plus 50% on this. All right. The Olympic here. This will also make 960. And this one is now going in here. That's less than 960. So if we kind of figure out that it's not quite this one we want to make, but it's less than this, but it's not so much less that it actually makes a big difference. So let's figure out what it would take for us to make it. If we're going to get one of these. There we go. And this one will come out at 120. Then we have the normal extractor. That's 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. That is consumed 120, and that makes 1200. So I need 2 of these builds. That's a pretty decent build. I would imagine that we'd want to have this built on top. So whatever build we're going to come up with, this just seems this just seems like the most natural way to do this. Right? I can't imagine that we want it any other way than that. So, and then we needed 2 of these. There. So already now, this is taken care of. All we need is an inbound line of there. Okay. So that's the brandy. Then the coke powder. That's also going to be easy. That's basically this belt that makes 120, but I need to feed it from itself. So that's easy as well. So that gets us the brandy. This one is 40 black powder. This build is making 19, and it is currently, no, it's not self-feeding. It's feeding from the central line, which is good. So it is actually producing 90 as long as it keeps going. Why is it not going? Oh, it's just saturated. Nice. So we're going to have 2 of these builds in here. And then the last one is the Oblivion Essence. That's the interesting one. So let's dive into that. The Oblivion Essence comes from a new build. There, a Paradox Crucible. All right. So the way this works is a little bit weird because it has a speed of 2,400 pieces per second. So it's absolutely insane fuel value that it consumes. This one is 4,200, so it's basically using a black powder 1.5 seconds. So that is the cost of doing these Oblivion Essences. And let me just get this into a location where we can get these on the side. This is basically just to get us some... Oh, man, I dislike these new hotkey bars. There. So we're going to send something in. So let me show what it is. Now let's send something that's really cheap inbound. I'm only going to set one of them inbound. So if I set one of these inbound, then it... never mind that. Get some fuel in. There. This will take an awful lot of time to get one Oblivion Essence. And in that time, it's consuming 2,400 every second. So that's no good. That means if we take something, let me just take this out. Take it out and put it back in so that I get the stone. So if we put something that's more valuable in here, what could be that's more valuable? Maybe take a blast powder inbound. That's a little bit more valuable. There. And we don't know yet until we actually feed it. See, now that takes 5.2 seconds and we produce 11.6 outbound. So that's also interesting. That means, okay, how much do we need? We need more than 20 per minute, or technically more than 19 per minute, because it's only going to be produced 19 per minute because of the black powder build. So we need something here that generates more than that. The thing is, the more valuable we put things in, that means the more money we spend on a valuable product coming in, the cheaper it is the stuff coming out. And that's kind of sort of the essence of it, to find something valuable to put in and take the most valuable thing, because then it processes faster. Also, we need to go. So what I have come up with that I think is the easiest, cheapest way. Oh, come on. Well, I can take one of these. Boop. That's what I want to put in here. So let's take this one. Ooh, 36 per minute, and it only takes 1.7 seconds. So I spent 600 silver to get that one inbound. And then I get my Oblivion Essence out. But it also works fast enough. So that seems like a good idea. There are tons of other options. And of course there are this calculator is also that has a paradox calculator to figure out which are sort of the most valuable. So the more valuable you put in, the shorter the burn time, and that means the less fuel. So it's a balance between the value of putting in or the fuel coming out. So that's the trade-off you do have to make here. And I think that's fine. And I think just making this one is easy, which means that now as this build is coming together, we're now seeing that what we need is actually all we basically need is a lift up here and one of these that we can't build yet. So coming together, in order to make this, I need one of these, and I need one of these with an inbound. Then I need this part, which gets fuel, and then we need this build over here. Basically, this build over here as well. So that should be pretty easy. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it in sort of with the gold coming in on the side. Let's just get these sigils in here so we can start designing. Okay, so I put this in and I've made it a little bit different because now I want this to be coming in from, let's take this one out. I want it to come in from here. Take it from center line. There we go. So that gets fed in here. And this one is aligned for money because we're going to be actually buying stuff here. Then I think I want to figure out the next thing I want to do is actually getting this one in place, which will be, actually you are also going to be fed from this belt, aren't you? Yes, you are. And that gets this one here. Nope, definitely something else. Let's stone, which will go up. Is that the inbound? Nope, it's not. That's the inbound. So the inbound, and then it comes out on that side, which I then have to figure out. Then I need you to come down here. That means the fuel has to go down the tile. There we go. I'm gonna need more things because the alembic also needs to be placed here. So that means more things on this line. This is still the fuel belt. And this is still the coke powder belt. Yes, coke powder. Because that has to go... No, that has to go into this one. Okay, so... the coke... This one, I think... okay. We can luckily just buy it like this. Good. So that has to go up from here and in. There. So that gets the coke powder inbound. I really want to just try it, right? I really want to see if this works. 1, 1, 1. So that should be pretty harmless to do. So we at least get the fuel coming in on the central line. This is the fuel coming in. Yes. And then that goes down here. Good. And it starts burning. Cool. And this one there. All right. So all of this is good. And we get the coke powder going in here. So now the next part we want is actually this we got here. I'm going to take that out. And I think it would be nice if I could just build it something like this. Sure. Why not? And that would give us a line like this. That would then be coming in from the second tier here. Does it work? Yes, we are going to get that. Why am I building it directly? Damn, I should not do this. This will now be fuel that has to go into that one, which should also be easy. Now I just have to figure out what is the output of this. The output is the brandy. And the other output is what? Oh yeah, the output from the crucible here. So that means building up, I guess. Here. Here. And that's the output, which goes to this location. So that needs to go down to the ground floor. That's the one input for you. You're going to get that input here. And let's flip it so that the liquid is not compressed. Then I am going to get a receiver. Or a requester chest, you could call it. And invalid position, that's not true. This one will just get the coal inbound. Why did I build it like this? Okay, never mind. I was about to say I'm going to move it before I hook it up. And that's a little bit too late already. There. Try not to hook it up too much before. Right, so we got the oblivion essence in. And we think. And this one goes up. I think it's actually working. So the only thing we're missing is the output, which will be, I think we'll do it something like this. And then a cannon for just bringing it back eventually for wherever we need it. Well, we need it downstairs, so we'll kind of need to figure out a way to get it back. Maybe we sort of bounce it over there and bounce down. I don't know. That's the least of our concerns. Right. I want to move this over. No, maybe I actually want to place it here because then I can make one of these on either side that shoots into this one. Let's try that. All right, so let's hook up the pipes. That's always annoying, so I'll just set that up. Okay, so pipes are hooked up really nicely, actually. So, and it's working. We can see we get the brandy in here. So let's get the other stuff in here. So what I just need to do is we're just going to hook this one up again, this one up again, and this one up again as well. There we go. That goes in. We need to get some coins all the way into the last one. Oh, man, they're eating so many coins. And there we go. They get some coins in here. And we should see burning quickly. very quickly. Preferably, this is why we don't want to have coke powder, because it just doesn't have enough fuel value for this. And then we are getting the first bit of oblivion essence in here. We are not getting the black powder, obviously. We also, didn't we do some testing on this one? Yes, we did. So let's also just take this out. There we go. That also gets us a little bit more of the oblivion essence. I'm going to take this one just for now, just to confirm that it's working. Just to confirm, right? And we see we have the first blast potions. So if we get it in here at 2 times 19, then it will only be 19 outbound. So that's kind of what we want to do. So we want to build 2 more of these builds, one here and one here, both feeding into this bucket. And then we should get a lot of these blast potions. While we do that, we can burn through our repository or storage here of that. So let me build the last 2 while this one is trickling along. So we got the 2 builds now done, but they are not hooked up. So that's going to be the first thing. Well, they're partially hooked up, which is even worse. Well, probably nothing. Well, I don't know. Some things are working, some things are not working. Don't fall off. That one and that one will be hooked up. So I think there might be some issues over here. Yes, there is definitely some issues. Oh, right. What does that actually give us? That gives us coke. Ugh. Not exactly what we want, to say the least. But this build is a build that doesn't have a storage, actually. So I think I want that to be different. So I want that to have some kind of, some kind of storage here. And this is actually, it also illustrates the risk of this build. Because it is sending out, the risk of this build is that, for example, if the fertilizer is not keeping up, then it's going to go wrong. If the fuel is not keeping up, then it's going to go wrong. So there's a lot of things that can go bad here. Let me just take all this out. This is just stone, so it's not really a big deal. There we go. Now it's stabilized. And we need to make sure this one, and we need to make sure this one actually gets there first. Oof. Come on. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Get that in here. Nope. There we go. There we go. 2. It just takes a while for this to saturate. Once it's saturated, it's good. We can then just ditch these in here so that they are going to be stuck. And they can also go out into all of these just to fill these up with happiness so that we don't waste them in our inventory. There. Perfect. And on the other one as well, because it's kind of the same build. It's entirely the same build, and there we go. So that is now done. These 2 are now coming in. This one is not going to be transferred here. There we go. So we need a little bit of storage here, and we can now see that things are accumulating as they should be. That's excellent. And then I can take this in here, and you in here. And this one will now go out, because this is actually not supposed to be draining out. This is for the fuel line out here. It's not for random crap. There. And how is this one working? Oh, wow. Yes, that's pretty good. Let's fire this one up. So I'm going to be shooting it over here. Go. And go. And go. And go. And go. And somewhere. There we go. Ta-da! We got it on the line. And we now have the option of completing the main quest. 6 gold. Nice. Ta-da! Level 8. Here we go. So now we get Gentian Seed and World Tree Seed. Look at that. 50 gold for a World Tree Seed. That is going to be super exciting. So what we're going to do next time is maybe taking a look at the World Tree Seed, or maybe continuing with more things on this level, because now we have, we actually got 2 extra points. Let's definitely get some fuel upgrades, because fuel upgrades are super important with the oblivion thing. So we could build some perfumes, and we could build some topaz, we could build some fertile catalyst. There's a cool way of doing that as well. And then we could start working on the Venus, for example. So maybe that's an option. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next episode. Until then, take care, and as always, stay effective.